A couple things to go over here this morning. Well, just out now that Microsoft lowered their AI software sales quotas as customers resist newer products. Um, I don't know who Aaron Holmes is, but dude sounds like he sucks. So we'll see what the reaction is so far in the pre-market. A couple things are Um, suddenly moving lower. We got the QQQ dropped about 0.7%. Quickly on that. Um, so yeah, we'll see. And then also the other big, a couple other big things. Um, there was a note out about robotics and kind of the administration wants to, really make a push towards, into and enhance the robotic industries. Um, Yeah, Tesla was pushing up a little bit on that. Rintech Robotics, RR, Serve, et cetera. ONDS had a really positive headline as well. Was gapping up quite a bit. ONDS, what was it? Like a bunch of drones to protect like the border or something? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then this poet, I talk about this briefly. So this is gapping up 14, almost 15%, following MRVL's earnings, which also is gapping up 7% after being down to about 86, 87 initially after their report. Had about a 20% reversal overnight. They just bought a company called, what is it, Celestial? Let me make sure I'm not missing a letter in there. AI and Poet is actually a big supplier of that company that MRVL just purchased. So I put out a couple bullet points in the chat. If you just scroll up to 7:56 a.m. Central Time, 8:56 a.m. Eastern Time, you can see the connection between Poet and MRVL slash Celestial AI. Um,
Whew.
Something that I'll keep eyes on. Yeah, it's nasty. Q's down
About to
0.6% now.
yesterday's low on the Qs.
Yeah, it's a gnarly headline. Microsoft looks really troublesome. We're rejecting kind of this stage three top base right here at about 500, 496, 497, give or take. What actually is that level? 492. Which we kind of had sliced down through here a couple weeks ago, back up into that area and rejecting it pretty harshly on Microsoft. Netflix as well kind of had this little bear flag look. This Palantir, I also think this is fairly vulnerable this morning if we do get weakness. I think this looks especially vulnerable. I think it looks like Microsoft kind of like right around this area. So you can keep your eyes on that. If you're interested in somewhat of a shorter term trade underneath this upper wick into this area, 174, 175, and then we're breaking previous day low. Very similar to the, type of trade that, I generally like to take to the upside, right? Where you get, a little bit of an undercut of this base, quick rally back up, break through, pull back in, get nice and tight against the 20 MA, give a little undercut and remount to the 20 MA right there. So you can keep your eyes on that if there is, continued market weakness. Um, we had payrolls come out from it wasn't non-farm, was it? It was like ADP, I believe, that were somewhat down. I think it was like negative 25,000 or something. Um, Kind of probably confirming the likelihood. If that would have been like really positive or something, I think you would have seen the likelihood of a rate cut decrease somewhat, although likely not to change. Um, and then American Eagles gapping up 15% on earnings. There was one other story that I wanted to cover. I can't exactly remember what it is in my head. Hold on, let me pull up. I think that might be it. Is that it, Rocco? Am I missing anything? I think that's it.
I don't think so.
CrowdStrike, they had their earnings yesterday, didn't they? Yeah, they had their earnings. Um this flat. There's another one, guys. To be honest, that a big down candle on this is gonna look, fairly ugly. We're already seeing kind of, things like Pan W, Zscaler, and Net also looking a little troublesome. D Dog, looking a little troublesome bear flag here. So um yeah, honestly, I've got more short setups in my mind than I do longs.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yeah,
Look at that.
and like I said, I mean, this net is another one into the 20 May right there. Palantir, I'm not sure how CrowdStrike's earnings were, but in the coming days, if this isn't able to make a strong comeback, it looks like a lower high that could potentially push lower into the 200-day moving average. So that's interesting. Um, and these are stocks that are movers. Like these are good trading stocks. And a lot of the other stocks that I like are not as good of trading stocks. Um, I mean like Urban. This looks really good, and I'm super interested in it. But it's not going to move like an ONDS, right? It's not going to move like a Cloudflare or a Unity, a QS, things like that. So it's just it's interesting. It's still an interesting market. I mean, there's still a couple other things, that I am interested in long to kind of see, like, is this MBIS going to be, bear flag? I still really like this Monday 12-1 candle. And I kind of like this level that's building out against, 100 and 102, give or take. Um, and, I'm going to be watching this to see if it wants to remount. But right now, we'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty penis in between us, as they say. A Lab was really nasty yesterday on the reverse rejection at the anchored view app from highs and the 50-day moving average. I know Manrev had a really good trade on the way up. AMD was a pretty ugly rejection yesterday as well. After holding this gap, kind of rejecting the 20 May. We'll see kind of what occurs from that. And again, yeah, this Palantir um, it continues to look a little suspect. Um, there was one other stock that I had kind of posted yesterday on stock charts that make me go, hmm. Oh, Irene as well. Really nasty bearish kicker candle and kind of broke down. So, anyways, and these are pretty impactful stocks. So yeah, I'm just interested to see what happens. Um, I am intrigued. On the same note, again, like STLD, like with Urban Outfitters, like is another one that is like behaving really, really well on a consolidation. Like this is acting like how like a really good stock should act. Um, but it's steel dynamics. Like, fuck that. Um, Let's take a look here. Oh, and then these rare earth stocks, Dark had posted them. I've been kind of eyeballing some of them over the past few days. And then Dark highlighted them. A few people had asked about LAC, and I've been fairly curious about it. Not sure exactly if the deals between US and China are fully resolved. The market's basically pricing in right now that there's a kind of like some of that agreement, or there's less tension in the rare earth sector between the US and China. I feel like that's pretty much priced in, kind of, or we'll see. And if there's any friction there, and we get some sort of headline or catalyst out on these, I think you're going to see a really big move sector wide. A lot of these have been, really beaten down. This TMC made a massive move. In fact, this looks like TEM. This looks like HIMS, the way it kind of based against a 200-day moving average, pushed up here, pulled back in and did this. It looks like HIMS back on the end of April of this year right here. Oh, looked very, very similar against the 200-day moving average. Gap up, push, pull back, and go. So, like that's super interesting. And then LAR and the lithium names. I still have ALB, but I'm interested in this LAC inside day, and then TMC to kind of see how this behaves. I do want to take one more look through here and kind of digest this 1% pullback here on the QQQ before the market opens after that Microsoft headline. But yeah, over to Bracco in San Diego.
I'm moving around quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, you're the
I'll pull my screen up here. 1 second. San Diego. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I've been feel like at least I've been pretty vocal this week about having trouble finding any uh opportunities or stocks that I really am excited about. Still feel that way. I couldn't really find anything to post in the Substack last night. There's a few things, but if I can't get a little bit excited about something, it's hard for me to want to take it. I did short some futures on this on that headline there. I saw the volume scanner just light up, and the amount of volume that came in there, I knew we were gonna get some follow through. I think we could get a little more follow through today. We could potentially have a little bit of a bearish type kicker going on if we open up down here. Um, I would keep in mind that Microsoft headline was out from the information, which I don't know if anyone remembers, but that crazy Oracle move on October 7th, where it kind of had that big sell off, it capitulated and market sold off too, was also from the information. Ended up being a bunch of bullshit, pretty much. So,
is it though?
I mean, that's what Oracle came back out and said, and we rallied. So at least for the short term, something to keep in mind. Um, but I mean, I have no clue how to break down that headline or anything. That's not really my area of expertise. But I actually booked a decent trade on that. I got a little bit of runners that I'll probably try to hold on or something. Uh, but yeah, I'm probably just gonna kind of sit tight and watch stuff today. I hate to be so repetitive every day, but I don't know. There's just gonna be periods like this where it kind of pays to just, I think, sit and be patient, and that's kind of what I've been trying to do. Um, I'd like for this to follow through lower a little bit. I've been really wanting like a nastier shakeout. Um, I kind of hated this kind of, floating up action the last couple of days. It's just been really hard to get involved. Um, so we'll see. Can't say I have much to say, honestly.
It's
Um, can't say I have much to say. Yeah. Yeah, I said that.
you heard it here first, folks. Um, with that being said, does anybody have anything in the chat? I'm gonna try to scroll through to see what people's watch list look like here. Um, with that, the QQQ, despite the soft, is still above again that Thursday sell bar open and high above rising 920 50-day moving average. Um, Now, is that a mask? Because like I said, I can pick out about 20 to 25 previous leaders, not just of the past 6 months, but of the past 2 to 3 years that in the near term are looking fairly suspect. Now, will some of this new merchandise take the lead? And will some of these setups lead to higher? Um, I am curious. So when there's a lot of thoughts running through my head, a lot of questions, um, I think the best thing to do is revert back to the purest and simplest form of market approach and strategy, um, which is a very repeatable setup of watch list stocks. So with that, I am going to be watching TMC. It was gapping up this morning, pulling back a little bit. I'm going to be watching LAC as well. Twilio, I still think looks really good on this tightness here, following this undercut. Again, if you zoom out, oops, let me pull my screen back up. Sorry, bros, lady bros, bracos. Um, pull my screen back up here. Still very interested in this weekly and daily chart here. FLNC, this they had this earnings reaction here last Tuesday. Have since recovered and are kind of consolidating over the highs. Kind of wedging up here a little bit. So going to see how this kind of grinds up and responds. Maybe it ends up pushing all the way up to highs and then we get some sort of setup. But ideally, one more little shakeout here on this little hourly give or take into 1850 19 flat give or take would be awesome. COHR, Snowflake, Light, Unity, Wolf, NBIS, all of those look attractive as well. We got Microsoft down 2.5%. I am interested in TMC. I don't think I was, previously. I would have, after his move yesterday, became a lot more interested. I wish I would have been a little bit more open-minded earlier in this move. So we'll see. And then, maybe his pulls like a QS, which I'd actually prefer, right? If you look
That's what
back here.
that's the first chart that came to mind looking at this.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a big focus. This TMC now, given that again that gap up and pullback. So, ideally, what is going on? Come on. Ideally, we get this move like this that kind of tightens up underneath that little pivot versus a move like him's back in April 30th, where he at, where it kind of just goes. TEM is another example post earnings of this delayed reaction right there. And then QS, of course, as well as Intel. Intel was another one right here. So we'll see. That is going to be on my radar. Dun, 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 dun. ONDS, like I said, that was a really good PR from them here in the pre-market. You've got kind of a little area here around 880, 890, give or take. And then yeah, I mean this weekly wants to push back up towards highs. That'd be sweet. Let me just take one more scroll here, clean it up. Nobody's got any questions? Okay. Then I will just try to focus up.
Yeah, damn, that Microsoft chart's not looking too great.
It's not.
Um, it's gonna be an interesting open.
Just fell out my screens right now. Unity there. I'll put COHR here. Man, if they end up buying this up, I'm gonna. If I'm quiet, it's because I'm being really active in the back end, trying to um see what stocks might be actionable on if we end up like pushing red to green or something. Toll Brothers.
And this IWM 65 minutes looks pretty good. It recovered pretty well off that dip. Kind of like a ghost signal on the hourly and pre-market.
Held right at 245 too, which is the 2021 and 2024 highs.
Gotcha.
Oh, this Google. I wanted to cover this. We got our first very orderly flag into the 90 MA here. Inside day yesterday. We're set to open up right at the inside day low. If we do get an undercut into the 90 MA right around 313 to 312, and then reclaim the inside day low, 314 flat.
I was gonna say
Um,
I'd like to see it test that gap.
yeah, all the way down into the gap 309.60. It's a good
Yeah,
spot to mark that out.
I
Yeah,
see.
either
Yeah, it's just tough. You want like a dip first, just because like stuff like for the most part, buying over like a previous day high like hasn't worked very well
no,
lately. It's been more like UNRs and like dip buys and stuff,
yeah, for sure.
which I'm not very good at. A little downside in CRMO. Rare Earth getting a little bit of downside right now. I think Bessen's talking. ONDS is pulling back a good bit too.
All right, guys.
Microsoft down 3%.
Nice red open on TMC. I am gonna have MRVL on my screens as well. See how it reacts post earnings. I think CRDO from yesterday's gap up still one to watch, kind of for tone of the market. Mm.
Dance declines positive 800.
Really? MRVL strong. Google went red to green. ONDS pulled back a little bit, sitting at the right above the 90 man.
Tesla's pretty strong. Martin Shkreli along QCLS Biotech.
It cues up a little bit from open 618.70 to 620.50.
That QCLS halted up. MCRDO down 4%.
The estimate pretty much completely flat right now. His TTI is really strong. But I still flat top. Alex Jones, your 3M is pushing a little bit.
IWM Dow pretty strong. RSP as well.
Some of the home builders taking out previous day high. Arc G's trying to hold the 50 SMA here in the 20 man. CRISPR
Yeah,
adding a little
Arc's green, Arc's up.
TXG is another one. Same with NEO.
Besides tech, everything else is doing pretty much fine. Advanced declines highs of the day. Damn, dude, look at that Wayfair. That thing got smacked. Down 9%.
Yes, I had a downgrade this morning.
Damn, IWM speeding up.
Had to be.
Whoa, look at this move on Okta. Is this earnings today?
They did have earnings
Pull up
yesterday.
that daily chart.
Oh
Damn.
yeah, figure out to green.
Q's breaking lows. Oh, SMH got a decent down move there.
Hmm. This TMC is trying to take out its opening highs right now.
Ark's cruising, dude. Tesla highs.
Yeah, you got Ethereum and Bitcoin really strong.
Dude, this market is all over the place.
It is really.
I can't make sense of anything. Such fast, like quick rotation. Yeah, Netflix down 5%.
That Netflix looks really troublesome. I guess Twilio's acting. Let's go red to green. Again, Toll Brothers and TOL and Lennar LEN both pushing out these daily patterns.
Sire BT's going again.
It's doing a lot of volume.
Probably would have been a good watch with that robot headlines this morning. I didn't think about that.
This NBIS weekly is looking troublesome.
Yeah. This price action sucks.
It's gonna be an interesting day.
Yeah, agree.
What are you thinking, guys? Yeah, the advanced client still sitting up here positive 1,000 right now.
I don't know, the advanced climb positive 1,000 and the Qs this week still. And if IWM and ARC and stuff come back down, I think Qs probably can take out yesterday's low. Kind of just up here in no man's land. Just really don't want to see ARC. ARC just tried to take out yesterday's high. It just did for a second. If it comes back in and goes green to red and bearish engulfs for like a 20-minute rejection, that would be no good. And that would kind of confirm with maybe what we're seeing on some of the growth names rejecting up on these first rallies.
What are the lows on the Qs? 618.56.
Yeah, my NDS went green to red. Ugh.
I was trying to hold at the 950 right here. Qs look like they're trying to hold on pretty hard here at 619. There's a nice little double bottom-ish spot against 40 flat on Irene. I saw a couple of you guys mention that. Huh. Oh, GV.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Like bullish kicker to bearish kicker.
That's not good. These cues look like they're hanging on for dear fucking life right now at 619. Oh yeah, I just kind of lost that ball. Mm-hmm.
Spy taking out lows.
Mm-hmm. Goofy, goofy. I think he's just reclaimed that open though. It was interesting, guys. I don't know. I'm just gonna take a look, ski, see what we got going on. The market kind of tell us rather than jumping into the fire. Nice little lower wick on Snowflake and MDB. We closed out the APPN that I had under yesterday as well. Yeah, the VIX only up to 16.8, so it's not really moving at all. Mm. This is a view app sell program on the queues. Frog's still tight. A nice little pop on Irene at lows. What is Microsoft doing? I'm just dangling at lows right now. Mm, what's Google doing? Nothing. Netflix, gross. Is Rivian still hanging pretty strong? Yeah, I see BTU is consolidating. Daily looks, meh. Oh, crackers for a second. That took me a second. I'm not mentally adjusted for Netflix at 100 yet. I
Oh yeah.
was like, oh my gosh. Huh. Q's still just an inside days and right basically at the 5 SMM. Pretty tight too. Mm. Yeah, retail is strong. Well, Q's dipped under the opening range lows. Now we're back at the highs. Pretty fucking tight range right now. You got the VIX pulling back in. Actually, it's kind of sitting near lows right now.
Those memory semi names are under pressure again today. S&K is down 7%. Damn, dude, these like spots and like Netflix are like really in stage four, huh?
Yeah. Back the way Reddit's acting.
Dude, so many semis again. NXPI, MCHP up 10%. Ooh.
Let's pop on the Q's right now. Really positive that we're holding yesterday's low so far. It's
Arc's
another
about to make new highs on the day.
it's another bullish gap that's getting defended, and so far people are stepping in and trying to close this bearish gap. We'll see.
Ooh, my old Tesla alert just went off. We're 41.42. Oh,
Focus on what it can control. Robinhood, very, very strong as well, holding the 20 May. That's nice. That's good to see.
they had engulfed today, right?
Yeah, it did
Just
undercut a little
broke
bit.
yesterday's low by a couple cents.
TER is at high day. Okay. This IWM looks fucking magnificent. TMC at high day, about to go red to green.
Kathy's got
And
some TER. Okay.
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, she's been buying that for a bit. That's a little lower wick on the COHR, sorry. LITE is at the 90 May. Let's see, That's a nice move on Tesla on the gap up and then remounting the 50 SMA today. Yeah, Sherlock. Tesla's pushing up on the Trump comments about robotics. Yeah, Trading View's always wrong about earnings. I got 113, which is most likely correct. Yeah, WM's kind of like a little kicker candle. SANM. Yeah, I'm tracking it. This is a company that's got the connection to AMD. They sold their some part of their data center business to SANM. Watching this trend line basically. These ONDS. GV about a 20, almost $20 recovery back above the MAs. What the hell? Guys, I don't know. Joey, I like it. This 1683 spot I've got marked out, which is kind of the first like hourly pullback. It's all sitting right at the 20 May, about 4 orderly days into 20 May. lower wick off that.
You got like a top three you're watching right now?
Not really, to be honest. Urban. This AMD's putting in a little red to green. Like I said in pre-market, I've got more building out the kind of watch list this morning. Um, especially after that Microsoft headline. So it was easier to find like short side looks than long side. That's no fun. I like this FLS. Little flat base. I still like APPN. Alex Twilio. URBN. SEI I still think is gonna have another huge move into that at some point. I mean STLD is still showing some like quote unquote leadership ish stuff. No, it did not dark. I'm still watching TMC. Yeah, on my screen. What do you think, Brock?
Dude, nothing.
I'm taking on yesterday's high is like kick a candle after holding this 245 spot. That's really nice to see.
Yeah. Or would you rather see the Qs leading?
Oh yeah, the Q's lead, but Q's are looking fine. Q's are looking fine. Actually, pretty impressive today. This Poet's doing pretty good volume, done 7 million shares today. You got Bitcoin coming back into lows right now. Still got VIX at lows. Pure Storage down a cool 26%.
I got PayPal downside.
Dude, Netflix. Fucking gnarly. Hmm. Hmm. FNMA, FMCC, Commerce Secretary talking about IPO sooner rather than later on Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Mm.
Wait, you said FNMA and FMCC popped? My
Yeah,
T2000 behind? I don't see it.
yeah, talked a whole bunch.
Why is it I'm not moving on my screen?
Which one?
Both.
Show me.
Oh, PayPal. Damn. Huh. Yeah, they're not moving on my screen. They pop big for you? Maybe I don't have like the better version that I need for those. Is
I guess not.
there news on PayPal? Maybe I don't have the OTC. Let me try to restart my TC.
Speaking of my driveway, I do I do need it shoveled.
I'm your guy. Damn, PayPal, same thing as XYZ yesterday. Same exact spot on the chart too.
Hmm.
Yeah, ONDS down 7.5%, dude. What?
Yeah, what a gnarly reversal.
Dude, it's like A-Lab all over again. It's down 15% from pre-market highs.
That Tesla's pretty damn impressive. Yeah, that's filthy.
Sharks in the water.
Doo-doo,
Yep.
doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yeah, ONDS. Yeah, it's gonna trade pretty good volume today.
SMH at high. SMH is about to break yesterday's higher now for the 150th day in a row.
Ever short a dull market.
Shit, going the wrong way. Fucking. I don't know, guys.
ESTG is what? That is nasty. Dude, what?
That's a good look on that AEHR whiz.
Hey, I'm curious, off the top of your head, do you know what your best month was this year? Like which month it was?
Yeah, September, I
Oh,
believe.
September. Okay. Yeah.
Let me
I was
confirm.
gonna see if it was September or like July or something.
July, July, September, June, July, September, and October are all pretty close with each other.
Yeah, September was wild.
But July was slightly better than all of them. Yeah, I'm interested in this RR. We'll see. It's a lot of fucking bag holders in this. This is not going to have an easy trip back up. So,
Yeah, so I was looking at RR earlier and I was thinking, I was like, man, that looks like a lot of overhead supply and stuff. Okay.
mm,
And then I went back and forth in my head because I remember thinking the same thing about stuff like
yeah,
OKLO and like MBIS or whatever, and all those names back coming out of the correction earlier this year. But then you look at the cycle and where the market's at on like a macro time frame, and it's much, much different. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like back when OKLO looked like it had a ton of overhead supply, but like ripped 250% in a month and a half, that was after, the NASDAQ fell 27%.
Yeah,
So much, much different if you put it into context.
I agree.
So when I look at like just how the market has been and where we're at in the cycle right now, this RR looks like a headache. I mean, but if you can find a low risk spot to buy it, you're interested and you try it. If you find a stop, you find a stop. Take it. I mean, you really never know, but something to keep in mind when taking the trade.
Yeah, I
Look how
think
much
we want.
volume was traded on this thing in October,
Mm,
you know? I mean, it was its highest volume month ever. So you got a whole lot of people still probably bagged up on this thing.
yeah, I'd look to. If I took it, I'd look to sell into strength pretty quickly.
God, my left wrist has been hurting. Hughes upside. The Microsoft said something. Had to have big volume on Microsoft.
I'm told the information to go fuck themselves or what?
Probably. Microsoft's moving on some volume. Yeah, they definitely said something. Microsoft response to information report, which apparently was wrong, did not lower sales quotas. Oh my God, same thing as what happened with Oracle. That's amazing. That is actually amazing. That's literally what we said to watch out for in the pre-market since it was the information. This Microsoft response say it was bullshit.
QQQ back green.
Nvidia's moving pretty hard off that. God bless America. Nice hammer on COHR.
Yeah, I just went back green. Held right at that gap from last Friday. 158.36. What's the low day? 158.21.
Nvidia's still pushing.
Mm.
Q's going red to green.
Estimations on its eighth green day in a row. It's the most recent record. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back here at the beginning of September.
What was it?
Well, just recently at the beginning of September, it had 9 green days in a row.
Okay.
Oh no, that's 8, 3, 6. That's 9. TSM, nice lower wick. Same with CCJ. That actually looks really nice. TMC going green. Google trying to take out highs. Did it take out the lows? It did. It almost did. About 20 cents away. Mm.
PayPal's still going.
There's a nice lower wick on CROD.
CROD.
CRDO. God. Well, my so when I here's my issue. When I got that laptop extender,
Mm-hmm.
um, I had to change. Well, when I switch over my laptop at night, I have to my TC2000 screens get mixed up,
Mm-hmm.
so I have to readjust. I had to readjust them this morning, and they're all in the wrong places.
Mm.
It's like where I typically have stocks are in the wrong spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Crossback on Amazon, I suppose. Um, like kind of. I mean, it is, but like it's not a pretty one. Yeah, I'm looking at this dark. That COHR nice, right? Back at 167.5. His UEC is kind of pushing right now. Actually, quite a bit. Same. What else? Any of these other uranium? I know CCJ was. What is that? Yeah. Is our RRs taking out highs? Oops. What is he doing? Wow. This AMR right here kind of reminds me of ALB bass. Yeah, HCC pushing two, coal stock. Mm. Yeah, Met C2. Met C is, man, this is fucking wild. 75% decline on this thing. What up, Camden? Just not exactly sure I'm supposed to be looking right now. Hims. I haven't looked at that stock in forever. It's some decent flow. Are they? Which ones? This TER is just beautiful. What a move. Mm-mm.